Welcome to Teach Together Try. Today we're going to look at our lesson goal, which is to understand a narrative structure. To understand a narrative structure. We're looking at a narrative structure, not a persuasive text, not a poem, a narrative. Okay, let's get cracking. Basically, here is our narrative structure, team. We start off with what is called an orientation. That is the first paragraph of our structure. Then we go to what is called a complication. Then we go to what is called a series of events. Then we go to what is called a resolution. And then we go to what is also called a coda. And you can see when you write a narrative or a story for me, or even if you're just watching this somewhere else, I'm going to want you to have 5 paragraphs. How many paragraphs? 5 paragraphs. Big voice, how many? 5. Well done. Now your first paragraph will be the orientation, the second the complication, the third the series of events, the fourth the resolution, the fifth the coda. Well, I think we've probably got a bit of a handle on that. Where's my pens? There they are. Good. Let's have a look at what's in them, shall we? Right. So the orientation basically introduces characters and describes the setting. So that's going to be things like who. It's going to be things like what. It's going to be things like where. It's going to be things like perhaps how. It's going to be things like when. Does that make sense? No. For example, you might have, Tom. I'm just going to do a sentence. I'm not going to write a whole story. I'll just do a sentence. Tom, the hungry rabbit, lived on the hill. Okay, and it's very basic, but you can see that's a basic orientation, isn't it? Okay, you would obviously want to have more, particularly been in stage 3. But here you've got who, Tom the hungry rabbit, and where he lives on the hill. Okay, so there's a few items in there in your orientation. Let's look at our next bit of a story, and that's called what's it called? It's called a complication, and in a complication, a problem occurs that changes the normal run of events. So we've got we've started nicely. We've got our orientation, Tom the hungry rabbit, haven't we? Okay, we know that Tom the hungry rabbit is in a sense our orientation. Well, now we've got to go to the complication, and the complication's got to introduce a problem. So what sort of problem could Tom have? Do you know? Oh, that's a good one. Okay, so let's write down then. Unfortunately, okay, if I could spell this right, unfortunately, Tom had only one eye. It's very simple, okay, so I'll fix that up. Okay, so that's his problem. Okay, that's his problem. He's only got one eye. It's a pretty good problem, okay. We'd want to make a paragraph out of that in our story, obviously tell maybe how he only had one eye and the rest of it, but this is a good start. The next paragraph would deal with a series of events. And a series of events, it's like one thing leading to another. Because he's only got one eye, this happens and that happens and this happens and then that happens. And it's also heading towards, which is coming next, our resolution. Okay? But I like this. So, because Tom's got one eye, what might happen to Tom? Because of this, he fell down the mountain. How's that? Well, he lived on a hill, didn't he? Down the hill. He hurt himself badly. Poor Tom. Okay, he hurt himself badly, if I can spell himself correctly. Okay, and now again, you might want to talk a little bit more. You're going to give me much more detail, but this is just very basic, isn't it? Okay, so that's, so now he's at the bottom of the hill. We've met Tom. The problem is he's got one eye. Because he's got one eye, he tripped over and fell down. He's at the bottom of the hill. But the series of events always head towards a resolution. Have you got that? They head towards a resolution. So, in the resolution, the problem is solved. Or it might just be finished. Maybe Tom dies. Oh, how terrible. Okay. Either way, the problem is now over. So it's either fixed up or transformed into something else. So there's plenty of things that could happen to Tom for resolution. What's your idea? How can we fix up Tom or finish off Tom, the rabbit, once and for all? Okay. Okay. Okay, sick of falling over. Tom went to the doctor and got his eye fixed. That's a good one. He could finally see, or something like that. Okay, well done. Now I've spelt that wrong, haven't I? Sicko. Okay, he could finally see. Great. There's a good resolution. Okay, maybe you could have he made his way back to the top of the hill where he's had a good dinner or something like that. Okay, so you've fixed up the problem. Well done. We've fixed up the problem. Here comes a little extra bit which I really want you as my class to be writing, and that's the 5th paragraph here. Okay, and 3, 2, 1, we're back with the coda, which is like a little extra part of the story. You don't even need to have a coda, but I like it, and your writing's improved when you have a coda. It might be the moral of the story. The moral of the story is, or perhaps the main characters learnt something. Most stories have a coda. It could even just be an extra funny bit, like in Star Wars at the end when Luke Skywalker blows up the Death Star, he gets a medal. That's a coda. He didn't need to get the medal. At the end of most Marvel films, they've got a coming in, the next Captain America or the next Marvel film bit. Okay, so what could be a little coda for Tom the Rabbit? What do you think? It could be a moral, the moral of the story, or he could walk straight and not fall over. Oh, he could fall down. Maybe when he got home, he was so excited that he didn't look where he was going and fell down the hill again. How's that? That's funny, isn't it? That's a nice little ending, okay? Okay, so here's a great coda for us, a little extra part, a little funny bit actually, that shows us that he actually hasn't learned something. It's just a little funny extra bit. When Tom, finally got home, he was so excited he forgot to open the door and walked right into it. Then he fell down the hill again. Great. So you can see our story has got 5 parts. It's got 1, an orientation, 2, a complication, 3, a series of events, 4, a resolution, and then 5thly, a coda as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And whenever you write me a story, I want you to write it like that. 5 paragraphs. Each paragraph is going to be one of these. Your first paragraph is going to be an orientation, your second a complication, your third a series of events, your fourth a resolution, and your fifth a coda. And now I've made a video for you so you can rewatch and rewatch that as many times as you need to learn how to write a narrative. Thanks for watching, team. This has been Teach Together Try. We're trying to understand a narrative structure. And do you understand a narrative structure now?
Yes.
Yes, you do. Wonderful.